Welcome to the Man Cave Podcast. This is your escape for real, unscripted conversations about sports, hobbies, life, and storytelling. No scripts, no forced takes, just Man Cave talk. Now, here's your host, Dan Casper.
My favorite days of the week in Convos because we get to chat with Ty from Slab Factory this morning. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I am doing fine. How are you?
Not bad, man. Not bad. Everything going good in the card world. Lots of stuff still.
Lots of stuff going on. Yeah. I mean, we pre-texted some ideas, but you know, there's never a shortage. There's always something.
Exactly. So. I guess I'm going to give you kind of the honors. Where would you like to lead off? Do you want to showcase what you already showed me a little bit here? So.
I'd like to lead off with how much I love Jacob Mizorowski.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I talking Brewers, watched the game yesterday, second screen while working, and gosh, like his bad outings are so good.
Yeah, yeah. He set the bar so high, right?
Yes, no extra base hits for what was it, 6 starts or something like that, or 7 starts, and
not walking anybody.
Yeah, and then now gives up a couple home runs here and there. Guys are timing up his pitches a little bit, but he's still generally unhittable. I mean, didn't allow a hit after the 3rd inning yesterday. So, I mean,
right.
Yeah, goodness, just so fun. So, no, I one thing that we talked about ahead of this is let's talk autographs because there's a lot to understand about them in cards. I brought this one more for fun because we also picked this up at the shop. Mizorowski signed baseball. If you ever end up with a signed baseball in your hands, look for what's called a COA, Certificate of Authenticity. This one has a certificate of authenticity label on it, and you can look it up and on the website and see based on the code that's on here, that it's legit. But you want to look for those on memorabilia. And this is not earth-shattering news; it's pretty standard. But just wanted to share that for those who do not know. If you have a signed baseball, I was just going to say, if you have a signed baseball and you don't know, it doesn't have that, you can get it authenticated.
I was just going to ask that. Yeah. If there's places they can just kind of look at it and, handwriting experts, or if you will. So.
Yeah. There's there's a number of them out there. JSA is one. There's also, this one comes from, LGC, which I'm less familiar with, but I know that they are legit, but you also want to look out for the ones someone came in with a Shohei Ohtani autographed jersey that was from a website that did not have any sort of historical backing of being legitimate, when you looked up the COA, and I was I'm not, we're not interested in this. So always be careful of that too. But anyway, I wanted to talk about autographs on cards because, there's some fun news we'll talk about later from Upper Deck that has to do with autographs and, the licensing. But as far as the actual cards are concerned, I wanted to talk through sticker autographs.
Okay.
On-card autographs, cut autographs.
Oh, man.
And, aftermarket, autographs.
Okay.
There's also post-production type autographs I'll talk through too. So there's a lot of different types. They vary in how much they add or take away from the value of a card, and there's different reasons why they have them.
Okay.
So I'll just launch into it.
Launch into it,
I was going to say, this is going to be a Tyler-heavy episode here.
I'm all about that, dude.
So this one here is a Shaquille O'Neal Miami Heat auto, and this one's kind of fun for a specific reason, but this is an example of a sticker. Back in the day, they had sticker autographs that were kind of a holographic sticker. I really like these. You don't see them very often anymore. Really, more often you see a clear one so that it doesn't look as obvious, but it's still a sticker. But the reason for these, that these card manufacturers do these, is because they'll send a sheet of stickers out to the athlete. They just sign 1 million of them. A bunch of them, not 1 million, sign a bunch of them and then ship them back. And then for years, they can put those stickers on those autographs or on those cards, right? I don't know. I was thinking about this on the way over and I realized I don't know, so I should look it up. But for example, athletes who have passed away, there's, if there are sticker autographs that are still sitting on, the shelf at, Upper Deck or at Panini or something like that, they could technically use those, right? So like, a sticker autograph to some people is worth less than an on-card autograph, which is important to note, right? This one is fun in the sense that Shaq wore 32 with Miami, but he clearly signed this when he was a member of the Lakers because it says number 34 in his signature.
I was just wondering that. I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
So like that's an example of how they sit on the shelf until they're used. You could probably call that a little bit lazy that Topps still decided to use a 34 sticker, with a 32 jersey, but
it's still a Shaq autograph.
Still a Shaq autograph. I actually got it because I thought that was cool. So that's an example of a sticker autograph, right? Then there's on-card autographs, and this is a Nick Kurtz on-card autograph. And you can tell that it's on-card. Obviously, when you look closely at it, you can see that there's no sticker underneath the autograph. And for the listening audience, this is less exciting. But basically, it's a Topps paper stock product, and it's a blue ink autograph of Nick Kurtz. And you can tell that it is signed directly on the card. A lot of people like these because they look clean and because they know that the athlete held that card in their hands, right? Rather than it being something that it was a sheet of stickers that were shipped to them and then they just signed a bunch of them. It feels a little bit more soulless to a lot of people when it's a sticker autograph versus an on-card autograph.
Okay. Yeah. So like really quick, back to the sticker one, and maybe I'm jumping ahead a little bit. Like I've noticed some cards too with those stickers, it's almost like an invisible sticker. They try to make it really but you can tell there is a sticker on there.
Right. Yes. And that's intentional, right? I mean, I think that because people like the look of an on-card autograph, it's not like they're trying to trick you, but they are trying to make the card look cleaner when they do like a more invisible sticker. So that certainly would be the reason, for that. But you see that way more often than you do any other type. There's like in football, they have like eye black ones too.
Oh yeah.
You've probably seen those where it's usually signed with like a silver Sharpie on like eye black. That's pretty fun. But otherwise it's usually just like a clear sticker on the background of the card.
Okay.
The next type is a cut autograph. And so this is an example of one that like, it appears that this product was like, Ken Griffey Jr. It says on the back here, congratulations. This is a Griffey auto. It says on the back here, congratulations. You have received a card personally autographed by Ken Griffey Jr. This trading card was sent to Upper Deck directly from Ken Griffey Jr. This certificate expressly warrants the authenticity of the depicted athlete's signature. So by the way, stepping back on any of these autographed cards that come from a manufacturer like Topps, like Panini, like Upper Deck, they will have on the back, it will say, you have received a card personally autographed. It'll say something along the lines of this autograph is authenticated by Upper Deck or by Panini, right? Or we guarantee the authenticity of this. But this one's interesting because what I mean by cut autograph is that it's like almost like he signed something else and then they put the sort of cardboard of the card over the top of it. You see this way more with like early 1900s athletes.
I just saw a Babe Ruth and Mickey Mantle one on Fanatics. Yeah.
Exactly, right? Yep. So they signed a check. They signed at the bottom of a piece of paper. They signed for like, the invoice for their plumber. I don't know, right? Like those are the types of things that people hunt for. And then these, card manufacturers buy them from people and then cut them out and put them into a card.
Is that like with a lot of the historical ones too, like a president's signature or something?
Absolutely. Every single, older president's signature that you see in like card form or memorabilia form, those are all cut autos. A lot of people like them. Some people think that it's kind of, cheap or whatever. It's like, I don't know. They signed the thing within the card. I'm good with that. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like almost like the inverse of a sticker autograph. It's underneath the cardboard of the card.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
it's still a Ken Griffey autograph.
Exactly. It's a Ken Griffey Jr. autograph. Yep. I mean, like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Reds uni, Ken Griffey, kind of, we had this conversation a while back, like, team changes, what sells better. The Reds uniform Ken Griffey Jr. autos don't sell for as much. as the Mariners ones, right? Like this one's a really cool autograph. It's worth about $300-ish, which is certainly a valuable card, but like, his Mariners autos way more,
Right.
So
that's who we think of when we think Ken Griffey Jr., right? It's
absolutely.
Mariners.
We think Mariners. Yep. So, same as the, the conversation we had about Aaron Rodgers and Myles Garrett and all those guys.
And maybe Giannis.
I think it's going to be interesting. I think that I think I talked about this. The first autographs will be really valuable, right? The first Heat ones. Historically, they will not hold up against Milwaukee Bucks ones unless he, wins a championship, which I do not see that roster doing a lot of winning. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
That's not even the hate talking. I'm actually really happy for Giannis and for the Bucks. I think it was time, but you don't pay me to come on here and talk about that. You don't pay me at all. But anyway. Another type of autograph is, an on-card autograph that is like a post-production autograph.
Okay.
So like this is an Upper Deck Scottie Pippen auto. I'm going Bulls here for these last few. No Jordan with me.
Okay.
But this is a Scottie Pippen. It's hard to see, but it's autographed, and they have like an embossed kind of stamp down at the bottom.
Okay.
On the corner that says that it's an authentic autograph, right? Now, that means it's authenticated. It does not need to be authenticated by BGS, PSA, any of these companies, right? And you can see on the back here that in ink, it's numbered. So it's numbered to 1994. So there's 1,994 of this autograph out there, okay? This is an example of like, Upper Deck sort of reclaiming basically, normal printed cards, having Scotty do an event where he comes and signs a whole bunch of these and then putting them in a product later. You see that sometimes, and there's actually a very popular but inexpensive baseball product called Archives. Okay. Not to be confused with the other Archives. There's two different Archives baseball. I don't want to talk about that. It annoys the heck out of me. But it's like re-autographed cards.
Okay.
And in each box of that Archives product, you are getting a guaranteed autograph, and it's usually numbered like 1 of 1 to like up to like 100-ish, and those are like cards that were already printed.
Gotcha.
That the athlete signed.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then the last two I have are both Dennis Rodman. And I wanted to show an example of a couple of things, how these autographs can be different over time. Autographs change with these athletes, but oftentimes these authenticators, they have on file multiple different autographs by like the same athlete. For example, Giannis's rookie auto, which I can bring another time. I have one, but Giannis's rookie auto looks way different than his current auto.
Right.
LeBron James just changed his autograph.
Did Tom Brady change his too?
Tom Brady's changed over time. Yeah. So like, you can see over time when these athletes change, but for the YouTube audience, this is a Dennis Rodman patch auto, another example of a cut auto. But although it's more in the cut auto style, but I do not believe it to be a cut autograph. I don't think they pulled this from anything else. It's just the way that they made the card.
Gotcha. Okay.
But and on the back, it says enclosed game-worn material and autograph are guaranteed by Panini America. This is part of the game-worn All-Star PC that I have. But then you have another Dennis Rodman that looks way different.
Oh, yeah.
Autographs way crazy. And this is an example of an aftermarket or in-person autograph. So someone went to an event that he was signing at or saw him on the street or whatever it may be, and they got this card autographed by Dennis Rodman. Then they sent it to Beckett to get authenticated. So on the slab, it's hard to see, but it says authentic autograph, and then it has a cert number. So someone certified this to be a Dennis Rodman autograph. If you ever have a raw card without authenticity, so without the thing on the back that says this autograph is guaranteed by such and such, or without a COA like you see on this Mizorowski baseball, then buy it with a grain of salt, because either it's accurate and it was signed by him, or it wasn't and it was faked. And, so that's what you have to look out for with these aftermarket autographs.
That's why I think my Shaq card, I know my Shaq card it was autographed like that, but it's like a JSA, I think, got a sticker on there.
Yep. So if it's got a JSA sticker or something like that, it's also, those are not easy to forge, but they can be forged. So you also have to like look up the certain number on the JSA,
right?
Like there's a certain number associated with it or a barcode sometimes or whatever. You still have to look it up because they can fake that too. But
right, that's the cool thing too, because I've done that with like my Don Hudson card, which is autographed. You just kind of look up that number and like boom, it gives you the little details on that. So it's kind of a cool thing to look up.
It is very cool. Yeah. And like sometimes with like certain products, they'll have like game worn materials that are associated with a specific game, like, and you can look those up and see, and it'll tell you like what game it was.
Right.
I think that's so awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Very cool. But yeah, that's like kind of the gamut of autographs, right? Like in cards, again, the most valuable thing you can have is an on-card autograph, especially if it's from the manufacturer. Stuff like this Dennis Rodman aftermarket one, they don't sell particularly well compared to like a manufacturer produced one.
Okay.
Like if you go get something signed, if you pay, $400 to have something signed by Jordan Love, you do not automatically have a $400 Jordan Love autograph, right? You're paying to have it signed by him, but you are not getting that value out of it necessarily. It has a lot more to do with the quality of the autograph, if it was manufacturer issued or not, that kind of thing.
Staying with the autographs, and it's something I screenshot with you since we're on a Bulls theme here too.
Yeah.
With the Jordan, you talk about Upper Deck too. I mean, that's giving me flashbacks to the '90s with Upper Deck basketball.
Yes.
And that. So, it's a new deal with Michael Jordan Upper Deck. It has inserted redemptions in its Goodwin Champions product. That hits tomorrow, this Thursday.
Yeah, we actually have we have hobby boxes on the way.
Okay,
right now, and then we have retail following shortly behind, I think.
Okay, so there's 23 redemptions for the Jordan signed 86 Fleer packs.
Yeah,
that could also contain his rookie card.
It's really cool. It's so cool, honestly. It's Upper Deck's big swing to be like, we're not dead. We still have Jordan. They signed, I don't know if you saw that, like they re-signed Jordan for a lifetime contract with Upper Deck.
Okay, I did not see that, yeah.
Yes. So I think they're going to try to step up their game on like how they utilize Jordan. But the thing is like when they re-sign Jordan, part of the reason that Jordan wants to be with Upper Deck is because he doesn't want to sign a million things. He doesn't want to water down his autograph base that much. What happens when an athlete signs everything, and there are certain athletes out there that have just signed everything, their autographs are just not worth as much at a certain point, right? Jordan has never been someone who gives stuff away for free.
Right.
He's always about that business and that legacy.
Tiger's the same way, I think, right, too?
Yeah, there's autographs, but there's not a million of them out there.
Yeah.
And so, stuff like Jordan autographs are harder to come by. And so this is a really, really cool way to release something that, Upper Deck is a little bit hamstrung on the Jordan front because they can't release Michael Jordan Bulls uniform stuff, right? It has to be, you see it a lot in Goodwin Champions. It's Jordan in street clothes. It's Jordan wearing a suit.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that. So how do you make it basketball, as basketball as possible, while maintaining that sort of image? And I think that this is how. So it's Fleer, 86 Fleer packs that are unopened, that are sealed. They're authenticated, and autographed on the outside in white marker by Michael Jordan. I think these are going to fetch some really crazy numbers. And it's a really fun way to create a chase product in a product that historically is not crazy popular. Goodwin Champions is fun, but it is not some sort of gangbusters product.
Right.
Beware of the secondary market on these boxes. They're going to be expensive until these things are found, right? I haven't looked to see if that's something that's in retail and hobby, or if that's a hobby only thing. Okay. That I need to dig into. And once I know, I can also we can talk about it the next time I'm on, or we can talk, because I am a little bit concerned about telling people that they might be able to find it in retail and then it's not available in retail. Let's see. It does look like it just says in Goodwin Champions product. So we'll have to see what happens when the checklist is dropped, because I don't think the checklist is out yet.
So with that Jordan autographed pack, might be a stupid question. Do you open that pack?
No, just because he autographed the outside of it.
Yeah. So that there might be a Jordan rookie card in there, but you never know.
Adds to the mystique.
Yep.
There's going to be 23 of them placed in redemptions placed in these. So it's not like you're going to find the pack in the box. The redemptions, the way that people do redemptions is that like you basically you pull a redemption and then you submit a code to Upper Deck and then they ship it to you.
Okay.
So I'm assuming heavily insured.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is going to be really, really cool. I think that it's a really fun chase. Like I said, we'll have hobby boxes in both of our locations. I don't think we're going to have a million of them, but it'll be a first come, first serve basis once we post that they're available. So look at our Facebook, our Instagram. We'll definitely, post the price and I don't know it offhand. I don't know what we got them for. So,
well, I want to go back to Giannis because I mean, he's not only switching teams, he's switching numbers too, and all that.
Is that confirmed? There was so much misinformation yesterday.
But I think it is 7 because I did see that the Heat are going to like reimburse anybody who ordered 34 or something.
Then it's
like
official.
That. Yeah. So
I do like that. Yeah, I do like that.
Does that do anything to a card market? Does it make any difference with a number change, even though it's a different jersey? Does that?
Not really, but I think like
or maybe when those sticker autographs.
Yeah, well, he doesn't do any sort of inscription like that. So unless he's done some inscriptions like that, then it'll be fine. But like when it comes to the, when Kobe changed his number, that's different, right? Stays on the same team but changes his number.
Right.
That made a big shift in his market. His early Kobe stuff. If there's ever anything inscribed with his number 8, then that's pretty cool. But then, he spent most of his career with 24. So, but like when it comes to something like this, I don't think it affects it too much. I think that if anything, it allows him to sort of operate with a different identity in Miami. And that might affect his card market in a positive way. But I don't think it's going to make any huge difference with his market, because it also is like not every athlete inscribes their number. Like, Mizorowski is a perfect example. He puts 32 on as many cards and baseballs and all that stuff as he can. He also puts a little smiley face on there, which I like.
Yeah.
But the Miz is, some athletes always try to add that, and some athletes never do that. And Giannis, I don't think has done much. I can't think of any autographs I've seen that have number 34 on it.
Yeah, because I know Rodgers puts 12 or I guess 8 now on a lot of his.
Yep.
And does LeBron? Does he put numbers on his?
I think it doesn't the new one have like kind of a crown and a 23 maybe.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but. I'm sure that I know that I've seen some before. Yeah.
So if LeBron, we know he's not going to be with the Lakers, but if he goes back to the Cavs for like a third time, I mean, this is a guy that's, changed so many teams throughout so many years. Does that affect anything to the card market if it's back to the Cavaliers? If he goes to the T-Wolves, is it better? Is there anything that could happen with that?
Sorry, I did just find that it does have a 23 in the signature with the crown. It's kind of a sloppy one, but yep. Anyway, I don't think so. So with LeBron, there might be some cool game worn stuff, right? Like for example, as somebody who's collecting game worn patches of all of these NBA All Stars, I might try to grab a game worn one from all 3 stints if he goes back to the Cavs.
Yep.
I think that's cool.
That would be a cool one.
Doesn't change the autograph market. Doesn't really. If LeBron's market is already crazy, and it's been shooting up. Like
really? Okay.
Yes, over the last everything ahead of the National Card Show, which is the end of July in Chicago. The greats, Jordan, LeBron. Barry Bonds is way up right now, actually.
Really?
A lot of these guys, they shoot up before this show because it's a really heavy buying show for like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
For grails, So, anyway, but yeah, I don't think it affects it too much. I think that LeBron's legacy is pretty cemented.
Okay. Last, I got a couple more questions here for you quick. One's from a listener, but I'll ask you this one. Luis Lara? Do we buy heavy on Luis Lara right now? Or?
Luis Lara is such an interesting example of like how occasionally Bowman is weird. So all you have right now of Luis Lara is Bowman product. And it's a couple years ago. And he did not have autographs other than the base autograph. Okay. So for some reason, he didn't have any autographed parallels, no like green, blue, whatever, like no superfractor autograph, like nothing like that. Exclusively just the base autographs. And then everything else was, not autographed. So his market's kind of weird because his base autographs being the only autographs out there are shooting up a decent amount. And I'm sure, I haven't even checked yet, but I'm sure they're up from last night.
Right.
I have a couple of Luis Lara numbered cards from that product that are not autographed that are off getting graded right now that should literally pop any day now. Because I grabbed him a little bit before the season started. But, his market is certainly up. And, Pratt's went up and then it's come down because he's not hitting the ball well, although he's picking it up the last couple of games here, which is fun to see. I still believe in Cooper Pratt for sure. I don't think he's going to be a monster, but I think he's going to be, he's an exceptional shortstop. And I think he's got a big frame. He's a big guy. Like, I think he's going to get some power going. I think he'll be fine. Yeah. But anyway, sorry, that's not what we're talking about.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
I know this isn't really maybe in your area of expertise, but we do have Dennis from Elk Mound with a quick question.
Yeah.
It says, can you ask the Slab Factory guy about how to preserve autographed shoes? I have a pair that soles are basically crumbling, not sure what to do about it.
Yeah, I have no clue. I can tell you that there are plenty of resources and materials out there for that kind of thing. Like you can, honestly, the soles are crumbling. That's crazy. Yeah, I guess like I've seen like issues with autograph bleed. That's from humidity, right? So if you can have a humidity controlled, like a humidor of some kind, that might be one thing that you can do. What I mean by that is like sometimes you see this with like baseballs too. That ink starts to just settle deeper and deeper into the ball, especially if it's a thick marker autograph, and it just sort of bleeds out. And that happens in humidity. So you want to control that for sure. But otherwise, I don't have much for you, Dennis. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We'll see if we can. I'll do some Googling too.
That's
a different. Yeah, like you said, the soles is kind of interesting.
I'd like to almost see what he's talking about.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So, all right. Hey, I'm going to throw this. This is your homework assignment. I need a Packer guy to collect now. So for my PC.
Well, let's talk about it. These are the questions. It's funny. So yesterday I had an old friend, one of my oldest friends, reached out and was like, "Hey, Tyler, like I want to get a product, baseball, football, something for my son that has a good chance of having something valuable in it, but doesn't break the bank." And I was like, well, let's talk about what you value. And I went back and forth. And it turned out he just wants some good cards for his son while his son also gets to open some cards. So I picked out kind of a mix of singles and sealed product that fit within his budget, shipped it out to him. So, it all comes down to what you want, Dan, right? So like, do you want this guy to be affordable or do you want him to be kind of pushing the boundaries of your budget, right? Do you like, first of all, it's easy question. Staying power. Is this a player that you like? Is this a player that is currently playing versus, a vet that's not playing anymore? That's safer because there'll always be a Packer, But like, I don't know, you tell me, Dan, like what gets you excited? Are you talking current player when you're talking about this right now? Because obviously Hudson is your guy.
See, then I go back to, part of me is like, do I go back to the 90s receivers? And I don't know.
There's if you want to go back to like a relatively obscure guy, but like someone that's like a fan favorite, you have so many cards that are so cool that can fit into your budget, right?
Yeah.
Like, a guy like Charles Woodson is pretty expensive, no matter how you slice it up, right? But like Antonio Freeman,
I was a big Robert Brooks fan.
Robert Brooks. Yeah. So there's plenty of cool Robert Brooks out there. You got, you can dig through eBay forever and find some really sick Robert Brooks stuff. It's not going to break the bank. He'll always be a Packer. Like
Jordy, I was a big fan of. Yeah.
Jordy has really affordable stuff too, to be honest. Like his autographs, can range anywhere from like $15-$20 all the way up to, $300, $400, but he's not really getting higher than that. So like, you can get a really cool curated collection at a nice price with some of these guys. It's just if you want to collect those top tier guys or collect the current players, that's where it gets a little bit more expensive, right? But like if you're going current, go defense. You know, some of these guys are pretty affordable when they're defensive players.
Yeah. Or I'll just keep going with my Penny Hardaway and Shaq one too.
Well, yeah.
So,
Penny, the NBA is expensive.
Yeah. I've noticed like a lot of the Penny stuff is even going up. It feels like just
all these, you know, sort of like 90s greats are really shooting up. It's no joke. I would recommend, you know, if you're going Packers, you know, you mentioned Jordy. That's a great one because it's within the era that there's a ton of product. You can, there's so much Jordy out there. There's less Robert Brooks out there. But hey, you can PC both. You know, why limit yourself? 287s, cutting it up.
All right. I'm going to do that then. I think that's where I'll be at. So.
Like it. Good plan.
Hey, dude. Appreciate it. As always, man.
Yeah.
So,
see you.
Hey, let's do a plug. We got the show coming up in August. Night that's like a month from tomorrow already, dude.
It certainly is, at
the Brewing Project.
Yeah. We're excited. So Packs and Pints card show at the Brewing Project. We're putting it on with a handful of vendors from the area that are phenomenal vendors. This is a kid-friendly, safe show with vendors who are not going to be trying to take advantage of people. Like we've personally selected these vendors, you know, from and this is not to say that vendors who aren't there are not great. This is this is who's available, who's great, you know. And, we also, it's a wide range of like some good basic Wisconsin sports stuff to high end, sports cards. So like if you're a high end collector, there's a couple of vendors that I know are going to bring the heat. And then there's, a bunch of Pokemon, other TCG vendors as well. So it is going to be a really good mix. It's going to be in the upstairs area, Brewing Project. So it's not a huge show, but bring the kids. Stop in yourself, grab a beer. Like the entire point is for it to be educational. We're going to have a hobby bingo type thing for people to play, where you get your card and then you ask vendors different questions about their about their PC or about their what they have, or try to make a trade, and you check those off the bingo card and you get a prize at the end. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff.
I'm looking forward to it. We're going to be there too, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
Very cool. I'm very excited, and we're going to announce more stuff as we go. We're going to start doing some vendor spotlight stuff to talk about some of our vendors who are doing the show, and Slab Factory will obviously have a very big presence there as well.
Right. Awesome. Good stuff, Ty. Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah. Thank you, Dan.
You got it.
All right.